Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. What can I say? I'm just happy. Oh, here's one. Do you hide from the world? By the way, do you guys know my background? You know, I used to say it all the time, and I thought everybody was probably getting sick of it. So let me just share a little bit about myself. I'm from the Midwest originally, and I had awesome parents. They were not without their faults, believe me. But I had a great childhood, and I have had an awesome life. I've traveled all over the world. I've got multiple scholarships. I lived in Europe. I had a scholarship there. I worked for a company in Germany for a couple of years. I lived in Sweden and traveled all over for a few years. Then I was a writer on Capitol Hill. I was a pro cheerleader. I've owned my own company since I was 19. Then I worked for a major investment bank. Then I had my own investment banking firm. I did that for 25 years. I worked with a lot of celebrities and pro athletes, and I was on private jets and did some pretty awesome things. I've had a really wonderful life. I'm a big risk taker. I am one of those people that will have the same fear as you, but I move past it because I love the excitement of doing new things. I believe that I came here to experience as much as possible as I could in a good way. I think I've had enough stuff on in other lives. So what happened here recently is after 25 years in investment banking, I realized I was stagnating. So it's like a country song. My mother died at age 74. Then a few months later, my doggie died, my Jack Russell, 16-year-old Jack Russell, the love of my life. Sorry. Love of my life. Then the next year my dad died, then my cousin died a few months later, and then my brother just died. That's a lot of hits to take in a short period of time. I decided life was too short, not that I didn't live it to the fullest anyways, but I didn't know what to do to change my life because I'm a baby boomer and I had a career for a long time. So I decided to get internet training because I knew that successful businesses were online. And I knew if I didn't get on board, I was going to be working the 9-to-5 kind of jobs for myself. Well, for myself, it was 12 and 15-hour days because I owned the business. So I once again took another big step, and then I wrote a book. I've always been a good writer. I wrote a book, and I got several awards. It was a bestseller, and I got a movie deal within a few months, and it's a television movie. It's a holiday movie called The Rooftop Christmas Tree, and it will show again this Christmas and probably, hopefully, every Christmas. And I've got 2 more books that I wrote, and I continue to write. And I launched a couple of tech companies just recently. And I have a spiritual channel. You know what? I do as many things as I can in this lifetime. And now, I went and recently got my degree in interior design because I've always loved to do that and decided I don't want to do that for a living. It's more fun as a hobby. I guess my question to you is like, what do you do? Why are you holding back on anything? Are you holding back? I'm one of those people that I will do pretty much anything, and I actually when I'm doing it, most of the time I'm going, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? And then I do it anyways. I mean, stuff that I've never tried before, like bike racing, and you've heard the bike racing story. I've got clips. Don't ever get clips if you're not a biker. You can't get out of them very quick. I was all bloody. I'm so glad I did that race. I've done all kinds of stuff. All kinds of things. I like to try new things. I just bought a kayak and went out on the lake. What stops you from experiencing life? You know, I think a lot of us have that fear, and they think of somebody like me as somebody who doesn't have the fear, and that's wrong. Entrepreneurs, inventors, all these people, they have their own doubts. They have their own barriers and blocks. It's all fear. They don't listen to it. They blow past it. So I want you to know that the difference between you and I is I actually will go ahead and do the thing anyways. Because I know that it will always produce something valuable. It always will. It always will. Unless your intentions are negative, or you're doing something that you knowingly, you know could be harmful, or is, taking a risk in a very, let's just say, unproductive way, like if you're a kid doing a dare that, could probably end your life. Those are the kind of fears and risks I'm talking about. I'm talking about things that, yes, could possibly fail, but they're not going to end your life, but they certainly will give you experience here in this body that you're in for a very short period of time. And I think a lot of people, they look at the potential results of trying things as almost like, I could die. Or even business owners, a lot of business owners, they know they could potentially lose everything. But business owners never seem to. Have you ever noticed that? Even if they go under, they turn around and do it again. Because their fearless attitude, or their ability to break through fear, is what keeps them in an abundant place over and over and over again. How many multimillionaires, billionaires have lost everything and just bounced right back? Probably all of them. Right? They will bounce back, because once you've been there, you know what you're capable. And once you've lost everything, you realize it's not as bad as everybody thinks it is, and that you're even more motivated to go back out and be abundant again, so you will take more chances. And that's blowing past fears. But a lot of people, they don't come from that place. They come from a very mediocre, safe place. Even if that place is safe and uncomfortable, they'll stay there because they've never experienced that thrill. They've never experienced that thing, that experience of breaking through the fear to go after that thing or that situation or whatever it is that's so exhilarating. And even if it doesn't turn out the way you want to, you know it was worth going after. So I want you to ask yourself today why you're not stepping into that uncomfort zone, that fear, because when you get over on that other side, it's really not that scary at all. In fact, you will never go back to your mediocre place again, because once you've broken out of that, you have an understanding of what experiencing life is about. And you will want to continue down that road. And you know that there are more things that you can do. And that you came here to experience. You came here to experience as much as you can. And maybe that's doing something like that's consistent, or helping children or teaching. But if you're doing something that you love and you're feeling good about it, and that's where you're supposed to be, that's wonderful. But most of you are not. You're doing it and you don't want to be there, or you want to make a change and you just feel like you won't get the approval from society. Well, that's baloney. Society wants to do it too. Everybody wants to do it. And they all want to stay in that safe place, because if one of you steps out and breaks away, it shines a light on the rest of them. So I just wanted to share my background a little bit, because I want you to know that when I teach these things, it's because I do practice it. And that I'm always, as a human being, coming up against, all of the challenges of being human. And I have to make decisions constantly. And, I share those with you. But I have learned a lot. And I've been in an awakened state multiple times. And what happens is, sometimes you come down from there, but you never come down completely. So just know that your growth, your situation, your growth, it's about experiencing, changing up your energy, going after things, breaking through fear even though it's still there, experiencing life. And your energy, your awakening will continue to happen. You will gain information and feelings and experiences that you never would have if you stay in your safe zone. And it's going to open up your heart and your mind in ways that will expand throughout the universe because you're sharing that energy with me. The more you expand and go out there and experience joy and love and pain and challenges and triumphs, we all share that magnificence in the collective consciousness because everything is one. So go live your life. Forget the fear. Yes, it's going to be there. It's always there for me on some level. Not too much, really. But, you know, it shows up once in a while. And then I have to blow through it. So sometimes I have to take a good look at it and go, whoa, where's that coming from? But I go past it anyways. You are whole and perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Thank you, the One, for all the beautiful things you're sending to my friend. All the abundance, the joy, the peace in their heart, the ability for them to open up and know that they are a powerful, beautiful being and that they can bring anything into their life, and that they're going to go out now and recognize fear for what it is. Something that's not real, that has no power, no real power. Namaste.